everyone, welcome to this video, and in this video we're going to solve this problem. The problem is a rectangular garden has an area of 14 square meter and a perimeter of 18 meters. So we need to find the dimension of the rectangular garden. So let's have some visualization in this problem. So we have a rectangular. So technically this is now your length and this is your width. And then there are concepts that you need to work out. So there are two concepts. The first one is area, and then the other one is perimeter. Now, when we talk about rectangular, so area would be equal to length times width. While for the perimeter, that would be equal to 2 times the sum of the length plus width. Now, we have the given here. So, as you can see, the given is area is equal to 14 square meter. It's two-dimensional. Then perimeter is equal to 18. Now, in this sense, you can now use this one, the formula, which is the concepts, in order for you to solve this one. So, I think we could use first the perimeter. Let me just change my pen so that it could go on the solution. So, let's go on solution. So the first one is that you could go with the perimeter is equal to 2 times length plus width. So substituting now the value of the perimeter, that would be 2 times length plus width. Now dividing both hand side by 2, we can now derive that 9 is equal to length plus width. Now we can derive now in terms of length. So if when it comes in terms of length, you isolate now the length. So you have now length is equal to 9 minus the width. So we have now this as a derivation so that we could use that on the second part. Now, let's go now with another color. Let me just use a purple. So let's have now the area. Area is equal to length times width. Now, the area given is 14. Is equal to the length and width. However, in terms of our sense, in the solution, the first part of the solution, we make the length as 9 minus w. So we have now 14 is equal to 9 minus w times w. Now, distributing now the w, so we can have there is 14 is equal to 9w minus w squared. So making it as a quadratic equation, so we can have it here. So 0 is equal to w squared minus 9w plus 14. Okay, now using now factoring, we can have factor that. So we have now w and w. In factoring, this is the sum and this is now the product. So think of a factors of 14 that the sum is negative 9. So technically the technique is that you have two negatives and then when you multiply that will be positive. So I have now 7 here. I have 2 and they are both negative. Now by zero product property, w minus 7 is equal to 0. So you have now the first value of the width is 7. And then the other one is w minus 2 is equal to 0. So we could say that w is equal to 2. Now, in this terms, we could work that out as two quantity. However, we take the first one as a substitution. So, it's not defined which one is length and width. However, in context, we use now the L is equal, or the length is equal to 9 minus width. So, if you have that in context, we could use that in context. The first one that you would work on is length is equal to 9 minus w, right? So technically, if you want to use now 7, 9 minus 2, length is equal to 7. So that would be your length. However, if you use now the second w, length is equal to 9 minus, this is one the second. So I think that would make sense. So this is minus 7, 9 minus 2. However, if you're gonna have this one, so if your width is equal to 2 and then the length is equal to 7, this is contextually correct. However, this is also correct if the width is equal to 7 and then the length is equal to 2. However, some may not agree that the length is 2 and then the width is 7. In context, because culturally, we say that the length is longer than the width. However, there is a certain rule. Not a certain like covenant or rule on it. However, when you solve, so that's why they could be unacceptable. However, for me, if I'm going to teach, I would go with the culturally correct, which is the length is 7 and then the width is 2. So therefore, let's check now. Let's do some checking. When we do the checking, let me use this color. So let's do the checking. So area is equal to 14, right? So if you have now area is equal to 7, which is the length, and then times 2, which is the width, so area is equal to 14 square meter. So this is correct. So this is correct. And then let's go on the perimeter. Perimeter, that would be 2 times the length plus the width. So perimeter is equal to 2 times 7 plus 2. Perimeter is equal to 2 times 9. Therefore, perimeter is equal to 18 meters. So therefore, we were asked for the dimension, so we can now answer that. Our answer is that the dimension of the rectangular garden is 7 meters for length and 2 meters for width. That's it. So this is how you answer now this word problem. So I hope you learned something with this video. You may put in some questions in the comment section. So I hope you learned something. Thank you very much. Have a great day.